Welcome back. The Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, has commissioned the second brew house of the Sabmiller Brewery, which specializes in the production of canned drinks. At the event in Onitsha, Governor Obiano said the company has grown owing to the more secure environment in the state, which has given room for a vibrant nightlife. According to the company, in the last 4 years, it has expanded to a massive production capacity of 2.1 hectolitres annually, with investments now valued at over $207 million.
Sabmiller Brewery, makers of Interfact beverages and Hero beer, having attained a feat in its growth and success, Sabmiller has expanded its production capacity from 700,000 to 2.1 hectolitres. This remarkable achievement is the reason why these dignitaries comprising the governor of Anambra State, management of the company, traditional rulers, and others are present to witness the commissioning of its second brew house.
At that stage, it was the largest single investment in Anambra State for almost 20 years, as SAB Miller saw the opportunity to kickstart an investment in the biggest trading market in the region.
The board chairman of the company and Obi of Onitsha highlights the company's commitment to local environments.
The benefit to Anambra State is quite numerous. It's talked about employment, and we can say that of the 520 or so staff employed here today, 45% of them are from Anambra State. That is positive.
Aside its benefit to the state, the interest of the governor in the success story of Sabmiller is the relative peace it enjoys, which has contributed in boosting the business.
It is also commissioning a can extension of the bottled Hero you're familiar with, among other things. So it's a massive investment, So I'm happy that this company is doing well. Part of the reason that it's doing well is because there's adequate security for lives and property here. To the glory of God.
The grand occasion ends with an inspection of the facility. Sabmiller, which began brewing and selling since 1895, it's known for its production of the famous Hero beer, Grand Lager alcoholic beer, including non-alcoholic malt beverage and better malt. And through their business, livelihoods are improved, with communities built for the better.
Some employees of the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, NLNG, have just returned from South Korea, where they attended a training course. On arrival at the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, the trainees said the exercise, which focused on shipbuilding, repair and construction, was a most rewarding experience. Our correspondent, Olumide Macaulay, reports.
The training course destination was South Korea, where these trainees on arrival back in Nigeria described their experience.
We were trained intensively in shipbuilding, all aspects of the ship in relation to welding jobs. We all that went there as welding and fabricators, we did it properly and we came out successfully.
For the only female member of the team, it was also an avenue for honing of skills and learning new ones.
I went to South Korea to study painting department engineering, and the study was so good. I want to appreciate the government, the people that are involved to make this for us. Today we are here successful. As I'm speaking with you, I have a certified paper as painting engineering, and the study was so awesome. It was my first time to be in that kind of trip, so I really want to thank God for it.
The training is said to be one of the important aspects of Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas contract to procure 6 new ships from Samsung Heavy Industries.
Initially, there was a challenge because we went in December. So there was the cold winter, which they were not used to. But they acclimatized well and they trained well. And we are happy we exercised this training to build their capacity.
While the NLNG Nigeria content is aimed at getting the maximum Nigeria content deliverable because of targets in the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act 2010, it is hoped these trainees will be given the opportunity to make the best use of their newfound skills for the country's benefit. Olumide Macaulay, Channels Television News.
First Bank. You first.
Hello and welcome to Business News. As the 50th annual meeting of the Africa Development Bank continues in Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria's House of Representatives has called on President Goodluck Jonathan and the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to ask other African leaders to support Dr. Akinwumi Adesina as the next president of the AFDB. The House also urged the Economic Community of West African states and heads of government in Africa to also support the candidacy of Dr. Adesina. The motion, which was moved by Honorable Muniru Dan Angudi, was passed unanimously.
Aware that the steering committee of the Board of Governors of the bank had met on February 11th in Abidjan, agreed and shortlisted 8 candidates from different countries for the election. Further aware that Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the Nigerian Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, is one of the shortlisted candidates for the job. Cognizance of the fact that it is mainly through the African Development Bank that great inequalities in Africa can be addressed. Acknowledge that if the leadership of the bank is not carefully chosen, the much expected poverty eradication in the next decade may not be realized. Appreciate the sterling and academic qualities of the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, coupled with his experience of working in Francophone and Anglophone countries, and his tremendous passion to help eradicate poverty through reduction of unemployment among Nigerian youth.
In the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria is appraising over 200 applications received in respect of the 300 billion naira real sector support facility. That's according to the Director of Corporate Communication, Alhaji Ibrahim Muazu of the Apex Bank, who says the policy objectives of the RSS facility are in compliance with the eligibility criteria to provide long-term, low-interest financing intervention in support of the real sector of the Nigerian economy, to increase output, create jobs and conserve foreign exchange, also diversify the revenue base and provide inputs for the industrial sector on a suitable basis. He also urges applicants for the RSSF to exercise patience as recommendations will be made to the bank management for approval and subsequent disbursement as soon as the appraisals are concluded. With the fuel scarcity in Lagos metropolis, the cost of running businesses appears to have gone up. The effect on corporate and informal sectors has resulted in early closure of businesses as the economy continues to slow down. Channels TV correspondent Tempo Ashaju reports.
Corporate and informal businesses in Nigeria depend on generating sets for power. But following the scarcity of fuel in the country, most organizations have decided to close early. Banks are notable in the midst of these headwinds. Most of them now close at 1 p.m. as against the normal opening hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. With the fuel scarcity, economic activities across all sectors have slowed down.
Cost transportation fare has been increased, doubled if not tripled. So most times you can see here is so empty. Even we can bear the fuel scarcity, we can bear the darkness staying without light. Then what about people that we're opening these places for?
But before, we normally use at least 20 litre in 3 days, 25 litre in 3 days when we are having light. But now there is no light at all. We are using light 24 hours. I mean, we are using fuel 24 hours.
Business confidence is declining and petrol scarcity as stocks have also remained volatile.
The kind of experience we just saw, naturally it brings about some threat to the confidence of investors. So it's not out of place to have some investor wanting to keep cash.
The unprecedented fuel scarcity has impacted negatively on informal and corporate businesses. But when asked if the subsidy on fuel should be removed or retained, it's different strokes for different folks.
I'm already bought 200 naira per litre. If the federal government can remove the fuel subsidy, make the fuel into the either 90 naira or 100 naira per litre, it will be easy to buy. We're not getting problem of queue up and down like this.
We cannot be okay because we are showing. We are tailor here. It's not easy for us to be buying a fuel at the rate of 300 naira per litre.
The situation has been created mainly by petroleum marketers agitating for an outstanding fuel subsidy payments. But with the intervention of the National Assembly, normalcy seems to be setting in. However, there are still few vehicles on the roads, and Nigerians keep getting stranded after work. Temple Ashadu, Channels Business.
Investors with C&I Leasing PLC will continue to enjoy increasing returns and lots of goodwill. This is going by assurances from the management of the company at an investors forum in Lagos. At the event, the managing director of the company, Mr. Emeka Ndu, reveals plans to increase the company's portfolio and continue to sustain its competitiveness and profitability in the days ahead. C&I Leasing Company is here with its clients, for one thing, to create a forum for investors to rub minds and keep delivering service to stakeholders in outsourcing, especially in the oil and gas sector.
Our business is essentially focused on 3 pillars and moving forward. Those 3 pillars are the fleet management business, the manpower business, and the marine business. Even our traditional finance lease business is ancillary, it contributes less than 1% of our revenues. So those are things that we do, but increasingly you find that between these 3 activities, they contribute almost more than 90% of our revenues, more than 90% of our profits, more than 90% of our EBITDA. So those are the 3 focus areas for us.
With a unique track record and a large market share, the company says it will stop at nothing to remain at the forefront in oil servicing.
The company is poised, to continue to sustain its position as a leader in the leasing and fleet management business. Our plan for this year is to at least double what we made last year as a company. And you can see from our first quarter that we already on that trajectory towards meeting and surpassing whatever financials and whatever result we made last year.
Incorporated in 1990 and with a staff strength of about 4,500, C&I Leasing PLC now operates in Nigeria, Ghana, and the United Arab Emirates. After 5 straight days of trading in red territory, increased investor appetite for highly capitalized stocks causes rebound in the Nigeria equities market as all share index comes in positive at 34,298.6 points. Here's our correspondent Christy Kwokwala with details.
Hello, this is the Stock Markets Report. After 5 consecutive days of bearish trade, the benchmark indicator of Nigeria's equities market turned positive, appreciating 0.43% to end Tuesday's session at 34,298.64. Now, top on the advances list was Forte Oil with 7 naira 20 kobo. Dangote Cement added 2 naira, while Nestle gained 1 naira. On the flip side, Seplat led the decliners chart with a 5 naira loss. Investors also shaved 2 naira off share price of Nigeria breweries, while Okomu Oil lost 76 kobo. Now, on the volume chart, Wapik Insurance took the lead with 231.25 million units. UBA sold 73 million, while Access Bank sold 60.7 million. When the closing gong rang, investors had exchanged 557.6 million shares valued at 3.71 billion naira in 3,663 deals. And that's the stock markets report. I am Christy Cole Popola.
Many thanks, Christy Cole. That's it on Business News. I'm Emana Amawe. Stay tuned for more figures from the global markets.
First Bank. You first.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Channel's National Kids Cup set for grand finale as both finalists get set for Wednesday's clash. That's on Sports News. Do stay with us.